Two bears, one cave.
We'll find out here in just a moment. Oh, we are. Okay. Just took a second. So I am here with the one and only intern, Joe. Hi, Joe. Is your mic actually on?
Hello.
Hi, Joe. And Stank Dog, Gared Steinke in the house. What's up, man?
Oh yeah, how are you, buddy?
Can't complain. Other than a little warm today, but
It was hotter than a biscuit out there today.
you know, we live in the state of rain, though, so I try not to complain when it's not raining.
Yeah, dude, I've been here for a month and a half, and it's rained one day. I'm pumped about that.
It rained a little bit. Wait, is just recently, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Unfortunately, it was right before my race, though. Have you ever seen foot deep ruts at Mountain View?
With
Or-
puddles in them.
Yeah, rare occasion, dude. I'm like, what is this? Why of all times did it have to rain right then? So, you know, that's one of those tracks. It gets a little wet out there. It gets a little
It's like a snail
greasy.
trail out there.
Yeah, I think the craziest race of my life was like 2 years ago. It started raining halfway through the day. After all, it's all blue groove already, and then the rain comes.
The worst.
And I was in a points battle. Me and Justin Homan. And we had the sketchiest race. I think we hit the grass like every other corner, just like sliding off.
Brake sliding all the way out to the end of the corner.
Yeah, like you going into the berm. Oh, I guess we're not hitting the berm. Never mind. We're just going way over here. Now, you've raced a lot of nationals. Have you ever had like a race that was just, this is ridiculous? Like condition wise, you know?
Dude, last year Unadilla, the second moto was pretty ridiculous. But being from the Pacific Northwest, that helped me out by finishing 15th in the mud. But
So-
that was like, it started out super thick mud, like the Washougal, heavy.
Yeah.
You hate it, and then it just started dumping while we were out there, which it got better. But then being on the two-stroke, I started getting a little water in the carb, and it was bogging, and then it being so slippery and muddy, and then the bike running not so good, I was just over the day and over that moto, and it was just so sketchy out there the whole time.
You know, you can only see so much from like the television, but there's been some I was like, oh, it's looking a bit gnarly.
Yeah.
And local races get too much rain, we just cancel. They're not really going to be canceling a national. I mean, it takes a lot to cancel.
Just lightning.
National. Yeah. So there's been some like, I can only imagine how nasty it is out there.
One of the worst ones I would say was Hangtown. I want to say 2013, maybe 2012. I was riding amateur day, thankfully, not pro day, but that was one of the worst ones I have ever seen.
Just what kind of mud? We talking to like there's different kinds. Washougal is a kind that swallows you. It
wasn't
sticks
that
you in
bad.
place. Okay, but
Wasn't
then
the
there's
Washougal.
there's the sloppy, just like soupy, like a rainy day
that's
at
what it
Woodland.
was.
You know.
Yeah, exactly. It was just like Woodland.
Oh, man, there's been some Woodland races. That yeah, it's you don't really get stuck, but it's just sloppy and thick and just giant puddles everywhere, and it's just a complete mess. You can't see a single number.
Yeah, the worst part about Woodland when it's muddy is like I feel like I'm inhaling ash, just muddy ash, the whole entire time I'm riding.
I raced a Grand Prix at Woodland. I think it was an hour and a half. It was so rainy that every corner you went to was completely flat. You couldn't see the ruts.
Yes.
So you got into it, and all of a sudden you're like, "Holy, that's a rut."
And
Wow.
like yes, and they get puddles there
Just
that
mud.
look like that's water, but it looks like dirt because it's the same color as
Yeah.
the dirt. And
Just
so,
soup.
yeah, but you go into it, it's like, oh no, this is just like soup. It's like a quicksand thing.
Yep.
It looks flat. It ain't flat though.
Yeah. Anyways,
I think we all have war stories from Woodland. There's been many a time just some crazy stuff from because they run pretty much rain or shine. And it's unique, that ashy river dredging dirt, like it's a unique place.
Yeah, it is. It's fun though. Rain or shine, it's fun.
Oh yeah, I've had some great races there. I've had some I've had ones where I feel great about it. Like 4 days later, like I survived. I lived through the day. You know what I mean? I did that GP that Steve Corey put on. That was a blast. But there's been times out there, yeah, that's just crazy. I've seen some craziness too, like frickin' Devin Harriman breaking a trailer with his head.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gnarly.
You know, there's someone decided to kamikaze. There's a reason there's fencing along the highway. Saw someone kamikaze in between two of the big barrels there out into the road.
Oh, that's gnarly.
Yeah, good times. So, you know, where are you from, dude, originally? I mean, we always see you in the Northwest, but like, where are you originally from?
Originally, I was born in Northern California,
Okay.
in Woodland, and then moved to Salem, Oregon when I was 6 years old, and lived in Salem, Oregon until I was 13, and then moved back to California.
Okay.
But I still have family in Salem, aunts, uncles, grandparents.
So bounce a little back and forth.
Yep.
Okay. So
Staying at Doug and Pat's house right now for like the last 2 months.
hanging out there.
Yep.
Where did you like first start racing?
My very first race was Salem Marina Cross.
It was.
Yeah. It's my very first race.
Nice. Did you get into it because of your dad, or like what made you want to like go out and start motoring?
Yeah, it was my dad for sure. He's told me the story from before I was even born. He wanted to have a kid that rode dirt bikes and be a professional motocross racer. So
Oh, he had it planned out then.
he had it planned out. So
Okay.
It's all on pops.
Okay. And so he was pushing you from the beginning.
Absolutely.
How'd that go? Like in the early stages?
I mean, mentally it was tough, you know, as a kid being yelled at and stuff like that. But here, I'm still here. I mean, I couldn't have done it without him, and I feel like I'm mentally stronger than most pros and most kids or young adults my age, just because of how he was and how he was towards me while racing.
So he was the hard nosed style, pushing you.
Oh, absolutely. You don't win, you're getting yelled at.
But obviously kept pushing you though. I mean, you know, that I've always wondered because I've seen some like you see a lot of different kind of parents in moto. You know, you get the rock throwers, you get the okay, we're doing 200 laps today, guys. Then you get the ones like whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But you see some get burned out. Some like with the really strict parents are always on them, like you got to go win. I've seen some kids like they'll do all right, but then they get burned down. They totally go elsewhere. And then others though, Villapoto, just keep pushing, you know, just keep
plugging
grinding,
away.
you know, and probably something we said about being mentally tough by the time you're getting into adulthood, and like it's gonna be hard to crack them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, you and like at your time, there's some fast boys that came out of that era.
Yeah, like 60, 50, 65s every weekend. I was battling Tommy Week, Landon Courier. There was gosh, what's his name? I think he might be in jail right now, but he was Sean Berglund. He was so fast when we were on 50s. He would beat all of us every single weekend. And then there was, I forget his name. He always ran those white knuckle grips, and he would scream while we were on the track, like when he was behind us on 65s. I forget his name, but he was really a good rider too. He's like, I believe he was like he kind of looked Asian a little bit, maybe Hawaiian.
Trying to think back. How old are you?
I'm 28.
28. Okay.
I was thinking Houston Keen when you said white knuckle grips.
Yeah, no.
Then you said Asian. I'm like, nah, not him.
Yeah. And who would have that? Now, I see. I should know these things.
He always had like almost like a bowl cut, and it was dark black hair.
Man, I'm drawing a blank now.
I'll figure it out later tonight, I'm sure.
I'm drawing a. Did you have to race Hill and Villapoto at all?
They were older than I was.
They were. Really?
Uh-huh.
How old is Josh now? Josh seems young to me.
I think he might be my age, but maybe he might be a year older than me. He might be 29. Yeah. Like when I was 7 to 11, he was 12 to 13, and I was 1 year behind him every time.
Okay.
Thankfully.
Because he was a couple years younger than me, and we grew up just a few miles apart. So I ran into him all the time, and he was fun to watch, like moving through the ranks.
Oh yeah.
I still love watching Josh ride. He just throws it out.
The bike skill is unbelievable.
And he's been that way since like day one. I mean, you watch him at 11 years old on an 85. He was steezy back then.
He looks exactly the same.
Yeah, he was steezy back then. That was just him.
Yep.
You go watch, what was that old Mini Warriors video? They had the Courier on a little 50.
Yeah, he's jumping the bus.
Jumping the bus. What 11-year-old jumps a bus? You know,
only
Josh
him.
Hill does. Yeah, Josh Hill does.
Yeah.
He's been steezy since day one.
Yeah.
It's just been him. Cracks me up that seeing Justin too. Like, I guess I never thought Justin would get that fast. he was always that kind of likable kid, and I mean he was there, but a little more attention was on Josh. And then like, oh wait, never mind. Justin's pretty damn fast.
He's got some speed too.
Yeah, I was like, okay, only guy that got a championship, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I don't think he ever won an amateur championship.
I think you're right.
Nothing at like Loretta's or World Minis or anything like that.
Yeah, I think you're right. Now, did you do all those like World Minis, Ponca?
A few times, not very often.
Stick to more local.
Yeah. Pops's wallet book wasn't very big, so we kind of just kept it local. And I think 85s, that's when I started venturing out and hitting some of the nationals.
All right, so this has been brought up a few times. This will be fun. Your opinion as someone who has done this, how, let's say today, because I think it was different 10, 15 years ago than it is now. How important is it for someone who wants to race nationals, wants to race supercross? I'd say arena cross, but it doesn't exist anymore. But who wants to race? How important do you think it is for them to hit the amateur nationals?
See, that's a hard decision for me to come up with, but my opinion would be to not do them. It doesn't really matter. Every rider that's at the amateur nationals that's doing well has a ride. If you're going there looking for something, the outcome is not very good, honestly, ever. If you're trying to get sponsors or anything like that, very, very, very often, or very not so often does it happen that someone goes to an amateur event and wins and then leaves with something greater than what they had. Everyone that's there is in the top 5. They already have their stuff.
So that's my opinion, and it's always a fun one to argue. Some people will just get heated over it, and I don't have a reason for it. That's just my opinion, but I'm down to argue with people. I like hearing different sides, but my opinion is, well, like you said, the top guys are taken. They know where they're going. I mean, in the B classes, the C classes are not really as important. The Pee-wee, no one cares in the Pee-wee. No one it go for fun.
Yeah.
But I think if you really want to get a ride and get attention, a lot of it is social media engagement. I mean, you're a guy who's done fairly well on social media. I mean, how many followers you got on Instagram?
I think I'm at like 118K right now.
Another rider we bring up is Carson Brown, who's got...
I think he's right around 100K.
Right around 100K. And how many Loretta titles?
None.
Like, and
how many people are looking at him right now?
Yeah,
a bunch.
There's a lot of people. He puts out a pit bike video or riding a 92 CR250. There's a lot of people.
One day it's 50K views. Next day it's 100K, and just and that's what all sponsors want to see nowadays.
Yeah, because you have reach.
Here's some proof. So I offered Steinke some money a couple of years ago, I think, for Arena Cross to run our logo on his bike, and it's just because I know a lot of people see his stuff, and I am a sponsor, so. There's proof right there.
Yep. Yeah. I think
Instagram and social media is huge.
How many people know who you are and how many people give a rip who you are and what you do is what matters. And I think you can do a lot of that without making the big races. Now, I'm not saying there's not value in that, especially if you can go and do well. Yeah, there's value.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think it's as important to pull out a second mortgage on your house to try to do it, because I feel like you can do just fine on other ways. I like to bring up Carson because he's a guy who didn't do, I mean, he's done some, but he's definitely never made a splash at Loretta's or anything, and he honestly never got fast until halfway through 85s. He then just decided, I'm going to pick it up, but he's got a lot of people watch him. Yep. And I mean, you got over 100,000 followers. There are people who have won Loretta's with 4,200 followers.
Exactly.
Actually, another thing is I was watching Arena Cross and Jared was in a head-to-head. And they showed his fork guards, and I was like, I got to get on there.
And see, this is a sponsor. This is a guy who sponsors riders right here.
Yeah, so it's not 100%.
I don't remember exactly why. I think you wanted me to take the Dunlop off the fork guards. No, I don't remember.
What happened was you ended up getting a ride.
Oh, that's right.
It was like pretty much a done deal
with Babbitt's.
Yes, and I was like, good for you. But
yep, that's right.
Yeah, I was like, I saw the head-to-head, and I was like, they showed the fork guards and front tire first, and then they panned up. I was like, oh my gosh, I need on that fork guard.
Yeah, I think
I like how he clicks his mute off when he's his microphone.
Joe doesn't talk much, So he just turns it off while he just sits and waits 5 to 10
Yeah, I
minutes.
cough more than I talk. That's why I turn it off.
But yeah, I think, you know what, that's one thing, especially because I've seen other sports, like MMA is my other love. I fought it. I have a bunch of buddies
I
who do
watch it pretty frequently as well. Go Nate Diaz.
Listen to an interview of anyone in the UFC. Well, not anyone. Anyway, let's pick a person. Actually, we're going to have some fun with this. I'm sorry, Dungy. Let's listen to a Dungy interview and listen to a McGregor interview. Dungy is reading a script like he's sitting here. I'd like to thank KTM and blah, 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 blah. I get it. You got to do that. But I feel like if someone developed a personality, actually, I've become a Cian Cirillo fan just because he kind of just talks like a human on the podium.
Yeah, he's himself.
Yeah, he doesn't even get too crazy or anything. He just sounds like a normal human being, other than try to slip in as many logo names as he can, and thank God, and his mechanic, and like, okay, you said Dunlop. Cool. What other than saying that? I mean, what is that really doing? I think there's more value if you're bringing value to a sponsor to go build up like a huge Facebook or Instagram and do a quick 10-second edit of you shredding the corners. Like, these Dunlops are just killing it today.
Absolutely.
I think that's going to do more than like, I'd like to thank Dunlop today. I mean, I get it. They want you to do that, and don't they usually offer incentives for that? But if you want actual value, I think a little 10-second Instagram video is going to do more.
Yep. And your little Irish accent from Conor McGregor.
Yeah, just throw in like something. I don't care what your shtick is, but find a shtick. You got a shtick, man. You got something. You got the people know it's you. You know what I mean? You got a thing. People know that's you. Carson has a thing. He rides 7 days a week on whatever good bike, piece of crap bike, whatever he finds, and he just goes out and rides. He's got that. That's his shtick, and and he sticks to his shtick, and people know him for that, and that builds a following. A lot of these guys, like, you watch them for years on TV, and you don't know what they're into, what they like. You don't even know that maybe they don't have a personality. Maybe they have nothing. I don't know if Dungy, what he does. Does he just sit at home on his Peloton bike?
Yeah.
That's it?
What's he do?
He's sitting on a pile of money, I'll tell you that.
Oh, he's got money. He's crazy successful. Like, obviously enough wins will counteract anything, good for him. But I just bring him up because, like, I can't remember one time he ever got on the podium or anything that
He's
got
a friggin'
excited.
robot.
He's just a robot.
There's one time that Dungy got my fan opinion, and it was, I believe, I want to say 2010 when he was on the Makita Suzuki, and it was in practice, and I think it was Toronto. And Lawrence was just rolling around the track, and Dungy was straight stuffing him left and right on practice in the 450 class. Just getting him back from the beef that they had previously. And that from that day, that Dungy had my respect then, just because he was punking Jason Lawrence.
Good on him.
I like an interview of second and third place when the guy talks about how fast the guy in first was going and gives him props. I like those interviews.
I want to see some shenanigans, man. Just give me something. I need a little, like, I would like to see a personality being shown. I don't want a bunch of robots up there.
Anderson.
It's boring to me.
Jason Anderson.
Maybe it's just me. Jason Anderson.
Yeah,
he can be fun.
He'll talk about
he can
how
let loose
crappy
a
he
little
rode.
more. Yeah,
That's fine with that.
Who was the guy back
Aaron
in the day?
Plessinger's got a pretty good personality too.
Yeah,
I miss Travis Preston. He was funny. He was funny on the mic. There's been a few dudes.
Eric Sorby was pretty cool too.
Oh, Sorby.
He spoke his mind pretty well.
I'm pretty sure Mikel Pachon. Most French guys have a little edge
say,
they'll throw out,
I was going to say Muscan can talk for 15 minutes. They got to basically cut him off because he's thanking the truck driver. I like that about him. He thanks the guys at the factories, at the actual KTM factory, building bikes for sale.
He's thanking the guys in Ohio and KTM.
Does he?
Awesome.
He has to hug all those guys after every moto.
I wouldn't doubt it. He's hugging the truck driver.
Matilda's baking cookies for all of them.
Yeah, he's thanked the truck driver. That guy's. I like that guy just because of his interviews.
Yeah, he's fun. He's different. I could see him totally just hugging everyone afterwards. I'll just hug for you, hug for you, hug for you. But
buying packs of smokes for everyone.
They're not going to show that on TV. Can't show that. Can't have CBD in your helmet either.
No.
That was actually our #1 most viewed episode, and the most amount of friends I have lost in a 24-hour span. So the 2 moments in my social media history, the most amount of followers I got was after on Moto Monday, I called out Carson Brown and told him, "You're just a punk little kid. I'll whoop your butt on a pit bike." And I called him out to the Pit Bike National. And
Did you catch race?
yes, we didn't have the showdown we were supposed to have because I called him out for the stock 50. We both came out, and I guarantee his stock 50 was just as much as a cheater's mine.
Yep.
I went ham, and I know like his dad owns BBR. They went more ham.
Oh yeah.
Neither bike would start. So we had to race the pro class against each other. I'm like, dang it. And I went in guns blazing. I had a full 194 valve. I brought a race bike, and I saw him in practice. The thing that nobody knew with me calling him out and all that, I've known Carson since he was this. Like we're buddies.
It's
like,
for fun.
Yeah, this is MMA. We gotta hype it a little bit here. And everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, Justin called out Carson. Oh, this is gonna be so bad." I was like, "Well, I should at least try." So I waited for him in practice. I went out and followed him for 2 corners. Like, oh dear God,
He's fast.
he hucked a double I didn't know you could do on a pit bike. And so, sure enough, race time comes around. I think I got second or third. I know I crashed, but I don't. But I followed him for like a few corners, and like I don't get it. And technically, I think we had the same motor, but he does things on pit bikes that's just stupid.
Yeah,
So-
I was watching a video not too long ago of him riding the new 150 that his dad just built. Dude, it handles better than my freaking motocross bike does through the loops.
Those things are so sick, and they're just dialed. So long story short, he smoked me. But it was fun. So 2 days later, he releases a video on his Instagram. "Hey, Justin, I'm coming for you, buddy." And it's him just mobbing a 50. I had like 300 followers in an hour. It was just my phone blowing up. Like, am I getting spammed? Oh, Carson Brown tagged you. Okay. Okay. The most I lost was when we did a podcast called Marijuana and Motocross. Just talking about the CBD thing. And we talked to a couple people who have had a lot of experience with CBD, all that, blah, blah, blah. Like, explain the difference between THC, CBD, just trying to, a little informational. And like, I think it's ridiculous that we're not allowed to have it on our helmet.
Yeah.
And I lost so many like friends on Facebook and Instagram the next day.
Wow.
Can't believe you would talk about that. Well, it's conversation. I actually didn't even really pick a side. I tried to keep it informational.
Yeah.
But I guess some people don't like conversation.
Some people don't like drugs.
Some people don't like well, they still drink coffee in the morning.
Caffeine is sure one drug.
Caffeine is. I got pure caffeine in the back, by the way. If you get tired, I buy it powdered, so I'm not even ashamed. Like, yeah, I got it straight. But
Justin mixed me up something at PIR. It made my friggin' feet burn. My feet were burning. I'm like, what the hell was that?
Felt like you had magic carpets under your feet.
Yeah, it was.
Sorry, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget exactly what I like to dabble with stuff. I gave him just my homemade pre-workout.
Oh,
I think it was a little much for Joe.
Homemade pre-workout.
It might have been a little strong. I didn't really have a measuring spoon, so
It's just eyeballing it.
yeah, I just eyeballed it and threw a little Coke in there. No, I mean, as in Coca-Cola, and Joe's feet were on fire. But I mean, we won't call things a drug. There's a lot of drugs out there that people take. I mean, whiskey's a drug. Your cheap Rainier's a drug. Like, yeah. And the CBD thing really annoys me because you don't get high from it. Like, it's pretty much therapeutical only. You
Absolutely.
know? It seems like a fair. I don't know. Do you use CBD?
No, I don't.
No. I'm not a regular user. I got some. But I definitely noticed a difference if I use it, and it's not even that potent either. It's like a little bit for anxiety, takes a little edge off anxiety, or like if you got aches.
See, I think why I don't do CBD is because I obviously do the THC as well, which has a little bit of CBD in there.
Yeah.
And the CBD has THC in it, not full. I mean, we're talking about what we've probably already talked about, but the CBD is not 100% THC free. So if you take enough CBD, you will, like if you do it over a 2-year span every day, you will eventually piss dirty for THC.
Yeah. Actually, let's get into this, and this is gonna be fun. Yeah, I only use a little bit. I've aches and pains from crashing on the pit bike multiple times. Comes in handy. but it's not that strong. I don't get why like people who really came down hard on it. Like, guys, this is like really nothing. There's stuff you can get over the counter that'll mess you up way more than CBD.
Oh yeah,
and we're not allowed to put it on our helmets, and it's a huge industry, and we can't even like talk about it.
I mean, what I thought was funny is they had their CBD stickers, and I have my THC stickers on the bike, and I'm rolling through tech inspection.
You got through?
Oh yeah, every time.
You got through.
I
I
had pot leaves on the side of my bike, and I
got through
through
with pot leaves on your bike, and that was fine.
Yep.
So they pick and choose who they want to pick on? How's that work?
Yeah, I could say that. You could say that, yeah. Dude, they really don't care what I do, honestly. I mean, I have a Rasta seat cover, and they're like, what's he, Italian? Is he Latino? I'm like, come on, guys, get real here. And then, yeah, I'm sponsored by Stony Ranch, and that logo is an SR, and then it has a big pot leaf right there by it, and nothing.
Wow. That's crazy.
My bike goes through just like their bike goes through.
So let's talk about drugs again and racing. How many times as a racer have you been drug tested?
0.
What do you think of the current drug testing protocols for Supercross and Motocross?
They're bullshit. WADA's bullshit. If you want to test, see, yeah, a lot of people are gonna hate me for this. I believe a lot of the top motocross racers that train with cyclists, they dope. They transfer their blood and they do HGH, other things. But if you train with a cyclist, my opinion is you're doping. And if you have a motorhome at the motocross track that is completely blacked out, your own personal RV in there, I believe that you're probably in there taking an IV bag as well. The sign on the door says "Do not disturb." All the windows are blacked out in the RV, everything. So my personal opinion is stop doing drug testing and start having an official or a WADA drug test supervision, someone in there in someone's RV, making sure that they're not on race day using their performance enhancing on race day. I would say that's the only testing they need to do. Not even test, just spectate and watch them. Make sure nothing out of the ordinary is going down on race day.
It seems silly to me, and the only people have been caught, like we have not caught one person in nationals or supercross that have had a real performance enhancing substance. It's been these weird fringe things, and it's been trace elements. I mean,
cold medication,
or we got Stewart for Adderall. I mean, sure, you want to abuse Adderall, it could help your focus, but you could get that with some caffeine too. If focus,
Yep.
You can get it with a bunch of other stuff too. I know Adderall could be considered that, but I also know there's a lot of other things you could take that does the same thing, just kind of helps you focus in. And he had a prescription. I think if you have a doctor's prescription, if you can, sure, you can get one, you can fool them. If you can get a doctor to give it to you, you're fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like when there's stuff like, I guarantee no one has ever been tested for EPO.
Nope.
Which is the 2019 top of the line blood doping.
Yep.
But no privateer. Maybe that's why I don't know. It's like no privateer can afford it. It's
Absolutely.
about we looked it up on one of the shows. It's like $120 a day if you want to get on a regimen of that. How many privateers got $800 a week to be throwing on that? You know what I mean?
Maybe one. And that's from Dad.
That's pretty expensive.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Those top guys, that's nothing.
Nothing.
And guess what? WADA doesn't test for it.
Exactly.
It's one of the few things that would give a huge advantage in motocross, but we don't test for it. But however, WADA's getting guys for cold medication.
Or Adderall.
We took out one of the best guys to ever throw a leg over a dirt bike because he didn't submit the right paperwork for his Adderall prescription.
For nothing. The best guy on a dirt bike ruined his career for
What do we
Adderall.
get out of that? What do we get out of it? Oh, yay, we're making a clean sport. However, every privateer I've had on here, not one person has ever said they've been drug tested.
Nope.
Because it's random, right? They do a random.
No, so outdoor motocross, they don't test. The only people that test are FIM. And last year, they did do one random 250 event where they chose 3 riders. But every supercross event, they do random 5 guys in the main event. And most of the time, it's the top 3 and then 2 random guys throughout there. Like how Cade Clayson got popped in New Jersey. He had the same thing. He had prescription. He had it sent into him like you're supposed to. Everything. They just didn't accept his paperwork in the WADA, whatever filing, and he got popped for.
Why is this even here? I mean, do you think they just want to say, "Oh, we have drug testing," and that's just is whatever bullshit they could come up with?
Dude, same thing in MMA. Like,
dude, MMA is light years past motocross because, like, I did a amateur event in Portland, and it was, I mean, it's at the Rosen. This is pretty small scale, and I had to go. Not only did I have to go get blood work, I had to go get a physical. And then I had to get drug tested by the sheriff's office. Granted, it's a lower budget drug test.
Yeah.
But still, if I'm taking HGH, they're catching me. If my testosterone is ridiculously high, they're catching me. Trenbolone, most of the bulking steroids that guys are taking, that's what they're really looking for. And it'll catch a lot of things. If I did coke, they'll catch me. If if you have too much THC, you're allowed a certain amount. You basically can't smoke within 24 hours. Yeah, I mean, you're allowed a little, but you just can't do it within the 24 hours. But there's a lot of stuff that is in there. I've been saying for a while, why don't we at least do that? Test everybody. It's cheap to use the sheriff's office.
It sure is.
And just do everybody. And they don't do EPO because the EPO test is really expensive. Even WADA doesn't do it because it's so expensive. But they kind of do the sniff test. But in like MMA, they kind of do the sniff test. Like this guy, if they get a few hints and stuff like, that guy over there is doing a little something. Well, like you were bringing up, maybe a guy in a motorhome with blacked out windows. Like, maybe we should think about going and paying them for the test for this guy.
Yeah.
But, dude, the top level, like the UFC guys, there's people showing up at their door at 6 a.m. Knock, knock. Hey, we got to get a blood and urine sample.
I heard they just recently did that to Anderson.
Oh, really?
Yep. A couple weeks ago.
Oh, that's damn.
Yeah,
there's other people who have never had that. You got to be a little consistent.
That's
little
the thing,
little
the
consistency. I don't think we need WADA, especially because I'm sure WADA charges through the nose. I mean, if a sheriff, because the athletic commission in every state, which is through the sheriff's department, do drug testing for boxing, MMA, all those kind of things. Why, hire them. It's pretty cheap.
Every rider's there 2 days prior to the event anyways. Make every rider have to go to the local sheriff station.
No, you can pay for them to come there. They'll show
come
up
to the event. And
they send two ladies with a couple tables and a little booth where they go in. You have to pee in the cup right there, and you're good to go. Like, they'll literally come to you and you pay them, and I guarantee they'll drug test every rider cheaper than WADA will charge for 3 riders.
Let's get them on board. I mean, I'd be screwed, but every other racer, get them on board.
Because I have a feeling there's a few top guys that are on some goodies.
Absolutely.
30-minute motos is gnarly. To go like a machine to the very end and then hop on your bicycle before the second moto.
And the rower. I mean, I personally, I've seen a few of my friends personally do HGH, and and that's very low scale on the helping rate in my opinion, for benefit, but it helped them a lot. It helped them a lot in recovery time and just being able to just go again the next day. And
yes, or even just high testosterone helps you recover. I mean, yeah, most people think it's for bulking and stuff. Hey, it also helps you recover.
Yes.
The other answer, maybe just let it be the Wild West and just let it go. I mean, that's still better than just randomly ruin a few careers.
Absolutely. I mean, we took the best guy from our sport out.
Done. He's done. And then for who's the one that the most recent one? Shoot, who was it?
Brock Tickle.
Yeah.
Well, there was somebody recently too, I think.
I think Tickle.
Oh yeah, Christian Craig.
Yeah.
Yes, and they took like 10 months to figure it out. Craig and Tickle, come on, guys. I think they need to just organize it and structure it better and come up with real rules and actually a tiered program. Like, any of these substances, 6-month ban, or any of these are 12
exactly.
Like, come up with some kind of tier program and actual rules that we have a pamphlet. We know what.
Or if they had an open-minded opinion and seen that, look, all these supplements are being made in some factory overseas, and shit happens. Shit gets contaminated sometimes,
hardcore.
It can happen.
Oh yeah.
And
especially with water testing, a trace sample in your pre-workout that you got from GNC could make you pop hot.
Absolutely.
Totally.
And that's what happened to Christian Craig.
Yeah. Totally.
Make it
happens
like
all the time.
Make it like speeding tickets. I mean, it's the same thing. The faster you're going, the bigger the fine. Even if you're barely going over speed limit, the fine's small.
Or I would be way more down just to let it be the Wild West and just stay out of it too, because that's better than randomly just ruining people's careers.
Absolutely.
I mean, just pick one. What we're doing right now seems like a horrible. I mean, it's so loosey-goosey. You don't know what's going on. Do they ever give you any kind of pamphlet or anything like to go off of?
When we get our credential or our pro card at the beginning, they make us go through this little. It's like 150-page rule book / whatever, but we're not reading it. We're clicking down, accept, click. Yeah. No one's reading it. Nothing.
I don't. Anyway, I'm ranting, but it just seems like this is a really jacked up system for the whole drug testing for racing. When I'm pretty sure there's some top dudes that are on some good stuff, and they're never getting caught.
For sure. I said it earlier. Anybody that trains with a cyclist is, in my opinion,
they're the best cheaters.
Best cheaters.
Cyclists
never
the
get
best.
caught. Never get caught.
Everyone hates on Lance Armstrong. Didn't read that the 17 guys below him got caught too.
Yeah.
Like, they're all doing
It's
stuff.
only cheating until you get caught.
And it's a weird thing. It's like, what do you classify to as a performance enhancing drug? Because like creatine, you can go buy that at Safeway. Technically, that helps your performance.
Yep.
What's the difference between that and this thing over here?
We're not even allowed to take Sudafed as AMA or WADA.
Because there's amphetamines in it, right?
Yep. Like it's a cold medication. Are you kidding me?
Washington Sudafed.
There's a lot.
I don't think Oregon has it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Oregonians come up to Washington to buy their Sudafed.
No, I didn't know this.
Crystal meth, one hell of a drug.
All right. I used to take mini thins when I used to do years back, and I didn't know what it had in it, but holy shit, mini thins used to have it in it, like lots of it. You can buy it right over the counter. Anyways, that was in the 90s.
We're learning a lot about drugs here.
Yeah.
Joe filling us in. I didn't know that.
My old roommate would tell me I was talking 100 miles an hour, and then boom, I was asleep on the couch. Shit was nuts. Truck drivers used to take it to stay awake.
That sounds pretty gnarly.
Four Locos.
Yeah, exactly.
Old school
2010.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, just bad. There's a lot of bad stuff you get at gas station.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, you know those gas station dick pills? Those are making people pop hot.
Oh no, I've never seen those.
No,
or the little buzz ones. They're like the little pills.
They're usually the little herbal ones with like 6 or 7 in there.
Yeah, okay, I've seen those.
Well, come to find out, there's a dude. All right, don't judge me, but I was reading this article from Ben Greenfield.
Asking for a friend.
Ben Greenfield did this full article on. He did like 3 or 4 months of different things for his dick. And so he did like red light therapy. He did
red light therapy.
Yeah. He did. Don't even. No, we're not going into it. Don't even. No, we're not going into it.
He's got one.
It's
funny. It's the first thing
he did
brought
injections. Up. He did stem cell injections. He did, and then he would test his testosterone levels after everything. And he would also test. You know, he was doing a lot of research into these things, all these different things for. Yeah, that kind of stuff. So he. Like, you know what? We'll try the cheapest option. Just go to the gas station and try those whatever. Half of it's in Chinese lettering. Ginseng, you know?
Grasshopper.
He was like, oh my gosh, that stuff works. So he bought another pack. Sent it to a lab. And like, hey, bro, there's 2 different steroids in here. Like, they're lacing this stuff with straight up just like real steroid testosterone boosters. Wow. He's like, the ingredients on the back are not the ingredients. He's like, half that stuff ain't even in there. So
it's not natural.
No, that's not ginseng root in those things. So he's like, so when people say I took one of those gas station dick pills, he's like, oh yeah, they're actually telling the truth if they're popping hot, because those things they do not have the ingredients they say on the back, and that will make you fail a test. Wow. So they tested a couple different brands, and he's like, they all made you piss hot.
He was pissing hot, all right.
Well, yeah, he's like, yeah, no bueno, man. You have no idea what's in those things. He's like, that's why they change every 6 months. The brand that you saw is now gone. They just shut it down and start another company and
change the name.
After a few lawsuits, shut it down, start a new. Yeah. So no bueno. How do we get into dick pills?
I think you took us there.
I apologize. We can go move back to motocross racing.
Or we can talk about the red light a little more.
No, we don't need to talk about the red light, Joe. Let's talk about you doing endurocross.
That was fun.
Was that your first time?
First time ever.
Really?
First time ever on anything like that.
Have you done off-road?
As a kid, I used to do photo shoots for Mini Rider and Dirt Rider magazine, and we'd always go out to the Mojave Desert and do a little bit of desert riding here and there. But that's the only experience I got of that.
So you've never done off-road racing events, GNCC,
Nothing.
Works? No, okay.
Nothing.
So you went to, what was it, like a week ago? Maybe?
Yeah. Thursday. Last Thursday.
Less than a week ago.
Less than a week ago.
Clark County Fairgrounds put on it was basically endurocross, right?
Moto Tough Extreme, they called it. Endurocross.
It was chopped up firewood, logs, tires, yeah.
That was the only thing gnarly on it, was the firewood pit. Anything other than that, it was...
Dude, firewood sucks.
And now I know why they use 18-inch tires and those grippy tires, because when you start spinning your tire on that firewood, well, Smokey the Bear is going to start smoking out of there.
Dude, hangover scrambles when it's icy on those things, whoo, it's fun to watch.
Oh, yeah.
It's fun to watch.
It's not fire pit, it's ice skating rink.
Yeah. So how'd it go for it?
Dude, for my first experience ever, I'm thrilled. I'm pumped. I couldn't be more excited about it. Dude, the first race, I hole shotted, led it for a lap, and then just moved out of the way from Colton and let him go by me. And then we pulled off, and he's like, dude, don't let me pass you. Don't let me pass you. You go out there and race. And so the second one, I hole shotted again, and I led it for, I think, 4 or 5 laps, about halfway to go. And then he passed me and pulled about a 20-second lead. But, dude, for my first time ever, I couldn't be more pumped. And it opened my mind of, I need to experience more dirt bike riding. I need to experience my dirt bike more. Go trail riding. Go do a GNCC. Go do more enduro crosses. Go try a TT. Go try a hill climb. Stop riding supercross and motocross.
Dude, you're going to piss off some hill climbers. Some motocross guys have been going over to hill climb.
Jake Amstead.
And Worcester and a few boys have been going over and like, oh, there's money over here. And like, oh, a lot of these guys just, sit on the couch, drink beer 6 months out of the year, hop on the hill climb bike, and like, we can give them a run for their money, and they're making some money over there.
Joey Ruminer's doing it too.
Oh yeah, Joey Ruminer, yeah, and doing good.
He is.
I'm not supposed to talk about it on this podcast. I was told to not let the motocrossers know.
Don't let the motocrossers know there's money in hill climb.
Yeah, there's some money, dude, and it looks kind of fun. It looks a little sketchy.
And I'm sure the roost has got to hurt way more.
I didn't realize they do some of them like side by side, bracket
like
style.
five guys too, up the one mountain.
Screw that, dude. Those things are so squirrely. They're going side and especially what is it they call? Is it the open or whatever the open class is? Basically, just
where they
let
have
it
the
rip.
freaking street bike motors in them and stuff.
Yeah, they have Gixxers in there, and they have stuff that's running on methanol. Like, I'd take a 450. Let's,
Yeah, that's
cool.
about it.
I'm cool with that. But like some of these crazy bikes, like you guys are nuts. That's nuts. But
they have to start it with like a jumper machine to fire it up.
Yeah. If you're doing that, I'm good. Yeah. I want to try flat track too. I've never done a flat track, but maybe not on those like big 750s and stuff. Let's do like just,
not like the mile tracks.
Oh, and especially not on the miles. Let's do like a Castle Rock, something smaller.
Yeah, there we go. Let's get an event going.
And XR200. Dude, let me throw on some slicks on XR200. I'll mob.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about those miles and some of those. Like Andy DeBrino, it's got balls of steel.
He's got balls of steel all around bike skill too.
Oh yeah, he has we had him on here right after he set the all-time track record at PIR. And then he'll go out a couple days later and race on the motocross track.
Yep. And then ride Washugo on the 125 two-stroke.
Yeah.
And then the next day he's trail riding. It's like, gosh.
See, I like that, dude. Honestly, I like riding two wheels. It doesn't really matter. I'm a pit bike. I love off-road. Whenever I can, I try to do an off-road race. The guys out there are super cool too. Like motocrossers are a little more on edge, especially your class.
Oh yeah, everyone's out there. Arr!
Everyone is a little bit of just on edge. Off-roaders don't really care. Even a lot of the pros, it's whatever, man. They're just out having a good time. I literally did a 6-hour race, team race, and guys are drinking Coronas waiting for their teammate to come to them. I'm like, I don't know if that's allowed. I talked to the promoter. I'm like, he's like, so? Okay, I guess this is just how we roll.
It's
here.
allowed.
All right, cool. You guys are laid back cats. Okay. I like the atmosphere. You just have to get used to, going, especially if you're doing AA, it's 2.5 hours.
Oh, so you got to get some seat time under your belt.
You can't go charge. That's the problem. You go get the whole shot. Like, dude, I'll rip whole shots and like, all right, go like a motocrosser. Sprint. Like, oh crap, this is a long race.
I'm already tired and it's only 10 minutes.
Yeah, and they start creeping on you. Dang it. Especially when it's like Rory Sullivan. I'm screwed.
Oh, yeah. Here he comes.
I'm screwed.
That's the Iron Man right there.
He doesn't stop.
Mm-mm.
That man does not stop.
Nope,
So-
and he'd be the one that's having a Corona right before he goes out and is lapping me on a GNCC track.
Can we have respect for how old is Rory now?
He's
Yeah.
got to be early 30s.
No, dude, he's got a few years on me, and I'm 32.
Okay.
He's got a few years. I'm saying more 36, 37. Sorry, Rory, if you're watching and I'm making you sound old, but dude, you got to be at least 36. Still doing the thing, man. I mean, he raced Washougal.
And the best part about it is he came from the LCQ. So he rode his butt off. It wasn't like he just snuck in there. No, he had to race for it.
Yeah. And he'll go do that, and then he'll go do an off-road race. And then
The very next day he went trail riding at, I think, Wolf Creek Lodge.
Of course. Rory Wood. I like that.
I saw that.
I have some respect for that.
Same bike.
Then he'll go
Same
mini
bike.
biking off in the woods somewhere with Lancaster. And he's just always riding something. So yeah,
I can barely get out of bed after a national, and he's doing trail loops.
So we're gonna bring up one of my other ideas. What do you think? We cut nationals down to 20-minute motos.
You'd see a lot more battling, that's for sure. A lot more battling.
I have a couple theories on how to boost up kind of maybe. Now, I'm just a small time promoter, but yeah, everyone's got their own ideas. My idea, nationals, make them 20-minute motos, see some more battles, add a 125 class. And if you're 16 to 18, you're only allowed to race 125s. Anyone can race it, but some of these dudes, I think maybe you're a little scrawny and jump up a little quick.
Yep.
And I think it would be a great privateer class because for a full-blown national level 125, which you've raced, right?
Yep.
A little cheaper than a full-blown 250F?
I'd say probably by like $50,000 a year cheaper for one bike.
So wouldn't that be a great class for privateers to get into it? Because
Absolutely. Or the first year out of Loretta's kids.
yeah, be a good way for them to get out there. And if you cut it down to 20 minutes, you're not taking away of your TV time. I think they could maybe eventually ditch NBC and just their own streaming service. A lot of these boxing, MMA, even these smaller football guys are going to their own streaming service. You pay like $8 a month or
Well,
something.
Lucas Oil owns MAV TV. That's why the first motos are always on MAV TV.
It gets a little complicated for us guys if you don't have the gold package to try to watch it.
Thanks, Doug. He hooked me up with the gold package.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Doug All's a champ, dude. For Moto Monday, he is. I had to hook him up some Moto Monday swag lately because he's always on here. We go in and did this 24-hour pit bike ride. He was there filming.
Yep.
He's just.
We need to get him a freaking tripod, dude.
Yeah, I try not,
We're filming some of the grandstands, some of the race, and some of it's the sky.
Dude, I can watch it. It's like, holy they're way out there. You might need to zoom in on that.
I can appreciate though. That guy loves dirt bike racing.
Love you,
Oh,
Doug.
hell yeah.
Yeah, like Doug. That guy is a man who loves dirt bike racing.
Absolutely.
But okay, back to the motos just real quick. 20 minutes doesn't sound that bad.
I think that would be for great racing. It'd help a guy out like me tremendously. Your guys like Tomac wouldn't like it, but I feel it would make great racing. Way better racing. You guys, I feel like your guys from 10th to 1st could potentially win.
Well, I remember, I think it was last year, Washougal, you didn't finish the second one and you were pissed. I think at yourself mostly, but you were fired up. You were pitted right across from us. And
Yeah. I wasn't very happy that
the
day,
F word
Washer.
was coming out. And yeah, 20 minutes. Not as bad. 30 minutes. I was
it
gonna.
would
I don't know. I was.
the racing.
I was peeing, but
Absolutely.
did you ask him about how hard that is to go 30 twice?
I can't do 30 once. I can only imagine how tough it is to do 30 twice.
The best shape I've ever been in my life was when I was 18 years old, so about 10 years ago. and I could legitimately do 2 30-minute plus 2 lap motos, and it's ridiculous how much cardio you have to do every day. You have to be on doing some type of thing. If you skip one day, you'll feel it on the bike. You have to every single day at least do 2 30-minute plus 2 lap motos, whether you're jogging, exercising on the bike, practicing. You have to. Like right now, I can legitimately probably do 8 laps at race speed, like without slowing down from a second to those guys are doing the same lap times from start to finish. They're slowing down, of course, at the end because track, but realistically, they're going just as fast as they were from the start of the race.
Some guys won't do the 450 class because they just can't hang on that long. It gets unsafe.
That thing's like a gorilla between your hands.
Yeah.
White flag lap on a 450 is not fun. No. That's at an amateur level for me. I don't like it.
I think I can make it to the first corner before I got arm pump.
Joe, we will get you out on a race day. One day we will get you on a bike.
Joe's getting arm pump, pushing his bike up to the line.
Yeah, I haven't raced in so long. I could probably do Top Gun as a beginner in a few classes if I can just make it a couple laps.
Well, there is a Moto Monday Top Gun team. Just saying.
Yeah, pay per points.
Just saying.
Joe says cover the entry. He's there.
Yep.
I'm just saying, Joe.
Maybe next year.
I got a bike for you. Wait, no, you already have a few bikes, don't you?
I do.
And I bought my bike from you, so
yeah,
you know it well.
Probably the first bike I've sold without. Well, no, you did do payments, but it was really quick.
Hey, what happens to your guys' bike all the time? If you don't mind me asking.
Let's see. They think fuel boiling because they replace the whole wiring harness too. Is it still going on? Because I saw you.
You want me to tell you what it is?
What is it?
The clutch daddy.
Yeah.
He's the clutch daddy. And once that thing gets hot down there, it wants to stall. It doesn't want to run. Nothing.
I thought you were going to blame it on the brand.
No.
Okay.
Gosh, no.
Okay.
No. Every single bike brand now is fabulous.
No, I mean the
It's
brand
fab-
of clutch.
Oh. What kind of brand are you using?
He's using. Yeah.
What's he using? Okay.
We'll just start it with.
No, that's fine.
And he's not a small boy.
No, exactly, and that's the thing. I use the clutch a lot, and I used to have the same problem when I rode 250Fs. It's about at the end of the Supercross moto, my bike was wanting to stall. You pull the clutch in all the way, the bike's still coasting, and then it'll eventually go to where it feels like your bike's gonna blow up. It's so hot down there, and that's what it feels like, but it doesn't.
Yeah. Oh, I know Seattle in the mud. It was but I think everybody had some problems that day.
Like I'm talking Mountain View.
Yeah, I know. Hey,
my bike.
I'm not the mechanic.
Okay.
I got.
I just supply the bike.
You're the sponsor.
I just supply the bike.
Mine worked just fine, but I do 4 lap.
I know. PIR was fine. They did switch fuels.
He doesn't use the Pro 6 HT.
He went pump gas.
That's what I read.
Yeah, I mean, I know it wasn't super hot at Mountain View. It was warm, but it wasn't.
It was warm.
Like
it wasn't
100 or
wild.
anything.
It's not going to boil the fuel hot.
Yeah. So, don't know.
It's not Loretta's.
No one's fuel boiled there.
I'm just saying, there's been some hot Loretta's. I've seen.
There was one guy that claimed fuel boiling at Loretta's this year.
I claimed it once at Mammoth too, and I'll tell you what, it was because I was going slow and I wasn't
Frying
doing
the
very
clutch?
hot. No, I didn't even do that. I was just going backwards. I went from 3rd to about 7th, and I just pulled off the track, and I was like, yeah, my fuel boiled. Swear.
Is that the go-to? Is that your tone?
I'm telling you, that's the go-to.
Yeah.
That's the go-to.
But you know what? I will say this. When that bike came back to the pits at Mountain View, about 3/4 throttle on, it was popping bad. It was straight popping and bogging. So there was something
funky in there.
Yeah, big time. And
it
like
was
I said,
Honda, man. I'm just
like
saying.
I said, they replaced. That was the 18 that he was running, and they replaced the entire wiring harness. It did the same thing at Daytona.
Can't trust them Hondas, man.
So yeah,
As I'm riding Politelli's old Honda, but
sounds like you need a lemon law.
Is it
right? Yeah. So there was something going on. It was weird because it was popping and bogging. Something fierce when it came back into the pits. Although you did say something about the clutch getting hot and heating up that motor.
Yeah.
It could have gotten a little hot.
Yeah.
A little hot
It's
in
a
there.
little hot in there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who knows? So you got yourself a new bike, didn't you?
Yeah. Scott hooked me up with that 2019 KX450. That thing is, dude, honestly the best 450 I've ever ridden. I mean, I haven't ridden too many of the new bikes other than the Yamaha and a Husky. But out of those three, the Cowie is by far money choice.
So you did the Mountain View race. Did you do the PIR?
Yep.
And you did Enduro Cross at the fairgrounds.
Did a Moto
here.
West before that one.
Moto West.
A Pac West.
Oh yeah, the Pac West around there. Okay.
Yep.
Almost forgot about that. Yeah.
And then just did a Pac West last weekend at Grays Harbor.
So, and you've been doing it on this new Cowie. So what are you doing the rest of the year? What do you got plans? You just kind of winging it, seeing what seems fun? I mean, at this point, you got long-term plans, or you just having fun?
Just having fun right now. I was supposed to go home back to California like 3 weeks ago, but I just keep running into these races. Like I was supposed to go home tomorrow, but then found out about the RV Cup at Grays Harbor, and the guy's like, dude, it's $6,000 pro purse.
Yeah, you're like, I keep running into money.
Yeah, I'm not going to go home for run away from money. I'm running towards the money.
Free run at Doug's.
Free run at Doug's, and I live in the van now.
Perfect.
My parents just got rid of they're moving out of the house, so.
I think you need an RV sponsor.
Come on, Joe. Get on the horn.
Joe's got a nice RV too. Joe, you should probably just actually. Never mind.
I don't think I can afford that fuel bill for that RV Joe's got.
I'll take it, Joe. If you're going to just pass it off, I'll take it.
Everything's for sale.
Everything, huh?
I go and sit in his RV.
What about that house
like,
next to your house? Is that for sale?
It's for rent.
What's my rent price?
I think it's like $1,300-$1,400.
Ooh, come on, Joe. I live in the garage.
Yeah, I believe Vicky's moving in. Martin.
What?
Vicky Martin's moving in.
She don't want that house. Come on, Vicky. Don't move in there.
Yeah.
I'll be your roommate, Vicky.
I remember
Me and Sean here coming.
I remember a text from Devin about you guys were somewhere cold, and he's like, the furnace won't work. I'm like, I don't know, dude, it's an RV.
Oh yeah, in my RV, he called you. What found out is that propane tank on there was about a 4-gallon propane tank.
Oh, that won't last long.
Yeah, no. So when it's about 4 degrees outside and you're running it all night long, it'll go in about a day and a half.
Yeah, it don't last.
Yeah. So
you can buy mine. I got a 50-gallon tank.
The tank or the RV?
Wait.
Yeah, right.
I don't think I can afford the tank out of that thing.
Right.
Yeah, wait till he tells you the price for it. Then you're like,
I'm sure it's probably right around the $100,000 mark.
And you
got to run U of MX work guards.
You know what's hilarious about his RV is where he takes it. He drives it from his house in Brush Prairie to PIR.
So it's got about 15K miles on it.
Yeah, I bought it with 60,000. It's got 64 now.
Yeah, that's what he uses the RV for, is the 15-minute drive over the bridge to PIR, and he parks it there, hangs out for the night, doesn't even stay the night, comes home.
Oh, I went to Washougal twice overnight.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Twice you've actually spent
the night.
And
then
then
Mountain View twice.
Oh, you did
I don't think he spent the night at Washougal in it.
No, actually, it got overtaken.
Uh-huh.
That's right.
When you were parked there. Yeah, we got a little rowdy that night.
Yeah. No,
You don't even sleep in it.
And then the mechanic that was supposed to stay in it called me and said, there's no room for me in it. I'm like, well, that's weird. All right, come to my house.
How does that... Wait. How does this happen?
I don't know.
Did people just overtake your RV?
Yeah.
Sounds like a party.
At Washougal?
Yeah.
That happens at Washougal.
Yeah, I wasn't there.
Especially when Luda's around.
It'll happen.
Last name starts with a V.
Oh. Okay.
Well, one of the people in it.
We don't need to call out names. What happens at Washougal stays at Washougal.
What happens in U of MX motorhome stays in the motorhome.
Right. Probably should. Yep. Well, we're gonna have to wrap this up in just a minute.
That's what she said.
Hey, Doug said that one was coming out. Doug said that was coming out.
Doug's smart.
That was the first one of the night, just as we're about to end the podcast.
And he says, "Is Joe gonna talk this show or what?"
We keep it clean the first one.
And then also, where's Reese?
He's in the back.
He's probably here. Yeah. We're gonna have some fun here in a minute.
Okay.
The after show is definitely the fun one. So we're gonna shut this baby down here in just a moment. But thanks for coming on, dude.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, dude. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it. And it was on the fly. Talk to you today. And you want to come on the podcast? And
yeah, I'm
in
easy.
Town, and so that'll be fun.
Give me a time and an address, and I'll show up for anything. I don't care.
All right. One of these days, I'm gonna get you on a pit bike.
Oh yeah,
Joe. I waited till the end to talk about pit bikes. I waited to the end, Joe. You should be proud of me.
Yeah.
But if you have not done that, that's maybe one of the next things you should try.
I have one.
You have one? What do you got?
A CRF 70. And
Dude.
so right now I'm the little petcock inside the fuel tank. The little filter on there got all eaten away, and now it just dumps fuel out. So I'm working on getting a new fuel tank.
Okay. I think you can actually get those petcocks like off Amazon, and you just like yank the other one out and just like drill tap the new one in. They're like $8 or something.
Okay.
Because a CRF 70 tank, unfortunately, they're not as popular, so they're a little
They're
more
not,
money,
huh?
but they're like still probably $70-$80.
eBay.
Yeah. I mean, because there are some China eBay 70 model bikes
As
out
long as
there
you
in
don't get the
existence.
Chinese carb.
Well,
There it goes. You
Are
brought
they
up
good?
China. That's where he gets all this.
no, there's bad ones,
Okay.
but I'm currently running a knockoff Kian 28 millimeter flat slide. You put it next to my real one. I can't tell the difference. It takes the same jets. The real one cost me $175. This one cost me $28.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, and I ran it. Sweet. It works just fine. So yeah, because I bought a couple of the real ones. The flat slides and the big mod motors. And were money. And I'm going to hear it from Doug tomorrow. He's going to text me, until it falls off. Because at PIR, my car fell off.
Yeah.
Well, I was in the lead too. It just dink, falls off dangling. It's a pit bike, so it's.
Yeah.
Have you tried vintage?
So my dad has a Hudaka 250.
Dude.
Yeah.
It's at Pat's house, and
Hudaka.
I ride it every once in a while. Not on a track or anything, but because it's super old and
Dude,
very
vintage
patina.
racing.
Patina's good. It's
Yeah.
coming back. It came back.
it came back.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I'd agree. No, try it sometime. If you're gonna like add up all these different things you're gonna try a little vintage racing.
I saw a Scion like Doug's that had patina painted onto it.
Okay,
I
that's
was
not
like,
cool.
It was cool.
If you say so. All right.
When
On
he
that
takes the
note-
Doug's, we'll sand it all the paint off and just.
He
let it
must have
rest.
been on one inside of his garage.
Paint without a mask.
Yep.
Before we shut her down, how can people find you on social media?
Hit me up at StankDog726 on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. Go ahead and follow me on Snapchat too. Got some funny stories on there. That's just my name, Gared Steinke, and we just have fun.
All right. Cool. Well, go check him out, guys. If you're not following him already, I'm sure most of you listening to this already know who he is. Maybe follow him. We're going to be back with the after show in just a moment. Thanks for watching. Moto Monday. What was this? 102, Joe?
Yep.
102?
Yeah.
102. All right. It's been fun. We'll be back. You guys have a good